Shalom and welcome to another really exciting episode in our series called Picture This from Israel. Friends, I am walking on a second temple or first century pavement, and just beyond where you can see, and just yesterday they opened up the entire Pilgrim Road, as they're calling it, all the way up to the southwest corner of the temple. So just yesterday, they opened this whole pavement, and we're going to walk it together. I find this exciting beyond words, that we're actually walking on pavement used by Jesus, his disciples, the religious leaders, the priests from the temple. And we're here starting at the Pool of Siloam at the very southern end of the city of David. And we're actually going to walk up, it's about 350 or 400 meters, all the way up to the southwest corner of the temple. This whole street connected the temple complex to the north and the Pool of Siloam here at the southern end of today's city of David. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to walk this together. I want us to picture first century Jews, including Jesus and his disciples, using this pavement. Just opened yesterday, can you believe it? This is now open to the public. We're going to be walking up steps, stone pavement, and all of this was here in the days of Jesus. It's been a few years where the archaeologists have not only excavated this, but also made it safe for us, because above us are houses. People live in the houses above us. So they had to make sure that all of this was safe. So we're still walking up some new steps. These are not ancient, but we'll eventually get to the pavement. In fact, here comes a few more authentic steps. Before we go up, just know that there was another section of road that went down this way. So we are literally walking in the footsteps of Jesus. This is really incredible. Underneath this pavement, incidentally, is a drainage channel. Now, when water would flow, for instance, as a result of rain in the winter especially, water would be captured in the drainage channel below this pavement, and it would flow into a reservoir pool at this very southern end. We usually walk underneath this pavement, but today we're walking on top, walking uphill towards the southwest corner of the temple. Now, something significant happened. In fact, it's recorded in John 7. And now we're back on modern steps. Below us still it's just dirt, not pavement, but we'll get to that again. But as we walk further up, there's a story that happens. It's recorded in John 7, where it captures what's happening here in Jerusalem for what is called a water libation festival. Now, what's interesting about that is that the high priest, every day of this water libation festival, corresponding to Sukkot or tabernacles, he would walk down this pavement with an empty golden pitcher. And then he would scoop water from the pool of Siloam, where we started, and then with great fanfare and the quoting of blessings and so forth, he would then return to the temple, and specifically in a bowl positioned on one of the corners of the altar, he would pour out the water. There's a reference, I think it's in Isaiah 26, about the water and the wells of salvation. So this happened every single day of Sukkot, and that's where we pick up the story of John 7, because the text tells us that on the very last day of the festival, Jesus must have been a part of this here in Jerusalem. Jesus says, if any of you who are thirsty, let him come to me and drink. Can you imagine this? The pouring out of water on the altar. And Jesus says, basically, I'm the living water. Any of you who are thirsty, let him come to me and drink. This is the pavement between the southwest corner and the Siloam Pool, where that festival of water libation took place. There's more pavement exposed here. Some of it is under this wood platform. But there's another story that, of course, connects with this pavement, and that is the story of John 9. Now, it's very possible that this man born blind here, living in Jerusalem, after Jesus made mud from the spit, he placed it on the man's eyes, and he told him to go and wash in the pool of Siloam. Could it be that this man, helped by his parents and maybe his neighbors, walked on this pavement as well? Can you picture that story from John 9 happening here as well? It's down at the pool where he washes the mud from his eyes, and he is restored in his sight. I would suggest both physical sight and spiritual sight. Here's more pavement now below us. This is really a well done walk, just opened once again just yesterday, which was January 20th, just to date this video, January 20th, 2026. Looking back down where we just came from. So we've come to the end of this Pilgrim's Road, and look where we are at the very southwest corner of the temple. This is a remarkable destination, looking at Herodian stone that dates to the 1st century, and again the continuation of this pavement. We have walked together this Pilgrim Road, used in the 1st century by Jesus and his disciples and everyone else. here in Jerusalem. That was so exciting. We can picture John 7, John 9. We can picture people walking on original Second Temple, first century pavement. In fact, even behind me, as we've reached our destination, are stones that toppled down from the temple in 70 AD. They are now resting on the continuation of this first century pavement. There are these stones behind me. All of this was excavated in the late 60s, early 70s, and who knows what's under those stones. But really an incredible experience to just try to picture who walked on this pavement, and today together we were able to do that as well. More pavement. In fact, there is the southwest corner again, and even this archway that has significance. It was discovered by Edward Robinson in 1838. It served as a bridge, a right-angle bridge for most likely dignitaries to enter the temple from the west. But all of this, below this arch, what's left of it, and below is all Herodian, all Second Temple. Jesus would have seen that wall too. Can you picture Jesus just looking up from this pavement and just admiring as well with his disciples this magnificent building? In fact, there's even a reference in Mark 13 when the disciples leave the temple. Of course, this would be on the south end. They turn around and they go, wow, what a magnificent building. But can I say this was a magnificent pavement that we walked on together. So thanks again for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this premiere video walk since this just opened. Until next time, shalom.